Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Ana Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Ana.
Amy Nichols. I'm Lacey G.
And today we are going to be breaking down all of Taylor Swift's track fives. Now, if you're a diehard fan, you know why these are important. If you are not, hello, welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. You're always welcome here. So these are usually the more emotional songs on the album, okay? And so it's a song that a lot of the fans are going to immediately go to, start picking apart, they might identify with. Here is Taylor explaining track fives.
So track 5 is kind of a tradition that really started with you guys, because I didn't realize I was doing this, but as I was making albums, I guess I don't know why, but instinctively I was just kind of putting a very vulnerable, personal, honest, emotional song as track 5. Because you noticed this, I kind of started to put the songs that were really honest, emotional, and vulnerable and personal as track 5s.
So what are the track fives? Let's refresh everyone's memories. Here's a little montage of all 9 of Taylor Swift's track fives.
Cold as you and your white horse, dear John, all too well. All you had to do was stay, 'cause I know that it's delicate. I've been the archer. Look at how my tears ricochet to tolerate it.
There's a lot of emotions there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to break down in all of those songs. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start at Cold As You, and then we're going to tell you where we rank that song on our list. And we're just going to go album by album in order they were released. And we'll just see what happens. There may be some strong opinions here.
Nick, I'm standing up because I know that it's going to get heated.
Okay.
Because I have a very bad character flaw, and I identify with this in myself. I'm very aware of it, but I can't change it. There's only one right answer, and that is it. And I do not like that about myself, but that's just the way that I feel. There's only one way to have steak, and that's medium rare. And if you don't do it medium rare, you're wrong. The best song off of Lover is Lover. And if you disagree, you're wrong. And I'm angry already before we even get into this, because we had a group email yesterday that was assigning us, hey, this is what we're going to do today. And Amy responded with, y'all aren't going to like my ranking.
I already know
so
what
I'm
your favorite
mad.
is. So
I'm already mad.
Can I just preface this and say, first of all, I know Lacey and I are going to agree on a few things, but we're also going to disagree on another few things. When it comes to ranking things, I think we have to just know that we all have different tastes. We all have different favorites. I'd say that not only to us in the room, but people listening. Sure. Because on TikTok, it's a really popular thing to do to rank, track fives or your favorite vault songs, whatever. And then a lot of the comments get kind of nasty, being like, oh my God, I cannot believe that you didn't put this here, whatever. So I just wanted a disclaimer to us in the room and also anyone listening that we're not going to agree.
Anna, I feel like you're momming me right now, and you're trying to tell me, you need to calm down. We're not even getting started, and you need to calm down.
That's not a track 5, Lacey.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how wonderful the Taylor Swift fan base is, but then how petty and ridiculous we are at the same time? You can hate my ranking of track 5 lists. I don't care. This is my list. You do your list. I'll do mine.
If you hate mine, don't tell me. I'm sensitive.
Okay, so let's start with Cold As You first. So here's Cold As You. So I'll start. I rank this number 9, dead last, in my feelings of where I rank this track 5.
Nick, so did I.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Okay, Amy.
Adams. Number 9.
Number 9. Oh no, Lacey. We might have to end the podcast right now, Lacey.
I didn't realize that everybody in this room hated me. That's what I'm feeling right now.
What do you got?
I have it as number 4, and
Really?
that's only because I made a last-minute change. It was going to be number 3, and last
Really?
minute I had a change of heart.
I feel
Okay.
bad for number 9 though, because it is a good song.
Sure,
I
it's a
feel
great song.
bad.
It's a good song. I just think she has better songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you're stacking them up to what we have to choose
Right.
from. You know, and when you hear it, you can hear the adolescence.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
I'm
it doesn't pack a punch for me.
I'm interested,
True.
Lacey, as to why you would have it where you do, because I personally, like, even back then, even now, I've never connected to this song. But that's just me. So I wonder why do you have it so high up?
It was my first time to hear it once we started listening to track 5s, and I love it. I don't really have an explanation for why, but I thought it was great. It was emotional, and I really enjoyed it.
Great.
I do have to say, I never get told that I'm too cold. I do get, though, wow, that was dark. Or, that was too far. I definitely get that. I did pull a piece of the song. This wasn't necessarily my favorite piece, but it still spoke to me for all the wrong reasons.
So I start a fight 'cause I need to feel something.
Okay, I take it back. I forgot how much of that I pulled. That is a very powerful lyric.
Sure.
But I also pulled that because of drama. I hang out with this couple that I know that they love each other, but they hate each other too. They're just one of those couples that make all these smart remarks back and forth. So I'm over at their house one day. They get into a little couple fight and they're bickering back and forth. And her husband said the most shocking thing I think I've ever heard. He said, I've had the best years of your life. Kind of like, if you walk away from me, I already had the best part of you.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
wow.
Ooh.
oh, that hurt.
Wow.
When I heard when you played the song or the clip of the song, and I was like, I know exactly what Lacey's going to say next.
Was it you, Amy?
No. I love my husband.
Could you imagine if Taylor used those words, Lacey, in a lyric?
I was about to
had
say
the
that-
best years of your life.
That sounds like
That's a good. That's
that sounds like
that's like a
lyric.
track 5 on TS10.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ooh.
But it did make me think, coldest place I've ever been. Coldest place I've personally ever been was New York during the winter, whenever you have to layer on everything and then you get to where you're going and they're blasting heat and it's so hot that then you have to take back off your layers and that's just super annoying. I do know the coldest places that Amy and Anna have ever been, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would say your house during the snowstorm with no electricity. And I don't know what his situation was. That's the only reason I'm not including you, Nick. I don't know if you had electricity or not.
I did.
Okay. Was that the coldest place y'all have ever been?
That was pretty cold. I only lost it for one night. I know Amy went a few days without it. So you were cold as you for a while.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, I mean, I've been to cold places. I've been to Alaska and
Whoa,
the
that's cool.
cliffs of Moher in Ireland. I did not dress appropriately, so this is really, 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 really cold. But yeah, I think that 3 days straight of below freezing temperatures is
Yeah.
probably the biggest memory.
I
Yeah,
hate being cold, and it's cold in this studio where we work every single day.
And I think y'all's hearts are cold for not ranking that true song. Yeah.
Sorry.
So 3 of us were in agreement with that. Lacey ranked Cold as You a little higher. Let's see how we feel about White Horse.
Not a princess, this ain't a fairy tale.
So this was on Fearless. I'll go ahead and go first.
Mm-hmm.
I rank this as number 6 for me.
Nick?
Anna, you look dumbfounded.
And Anna's mouth dropped open when I said that.
Because Nick, I also have it as number 6.
Whoa, we were in sync so
Same-
far.
We have the
Amy?
same list.
Amy?
I have it as number 7.
Okay, that's
Okay,
close. That's very
okay.
close.
Okay.
I have it as number 5.
Okay.
That's not
Which-
We're all close.
It's
We're all
pretty
close.
But then the irony, because
Track
that's
5.
number 5 of track
Ooh, which one's
5.
my
And
5?
that's
Okay.
not the most emotional one for me, but it definitely, it's just sad to realize that fairy tales aren't real.
Yeah, it really is.
I think this song is very emotional, and we've talked about it when we broke it down in its own episode, which you can go listen to right now if you want to, but then come back. But I think I think the song is emotional because I listen to it, from Taylor's perspective, where she has other track 5s that I take to be about me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it is a great track 5, but like there's greater ones.
Right. I can't put myself in that place.
Yeah.
It's
and,
definitely
it's in the middle.
It's definitely like an iconic song of hers.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Absolutely.
lyrics we all know
Absolutely.
and we get stuck in our head.
Yeah.
My favorite lyric from this song is I was a dreamer before you went and let me down. That is good.
Yeah.
Man, how did, she was writing these deep cuts so early. Like, geez, Taylor.
All right. So we're sort of in the same areas on White Horse. So let's see how we feel about From Speak Now. This is her third track 5. It's Dear John. This song has a lot of pretty powerful lyrics in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely hear she was hurt. She was broken there. I'm going to rank this for me. Dear John comes in at number 4.
Okay. For me, Dear John, number 3
Wow, okay.
on my list.
Not bad. So it's already in the top half of both of our
Yeah.
lists. Amy,
I took it to number 5.
Okay.
you're number 5 on track 5s.
I wanted to use this song to gauge whether or not y'all have a soul. And some of you do. It's questionable. I'm pretty sure Amy does not. This song, number 2 for me.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strong song.
It was hard for me. Like, I have a very obvious number 1. And then between like the number 2 and 3 spots, it was it kind of depends on the day situation. But Dear John, all 6 minutes and 10 seconds of that entire song is just lyrical genius, a masterpiece, emotional. The fact that it's about John Mayer and it starts with like a guitar riff, girl, yes, the petty, I love it. But I think my favorite part of the song, like most of her songs, is the bridge. When we decided that we were going to do this episode yesterday on Spotify, I took all 5 tracks and put them in order, and I listened to them back to back to back because I hate myself and I like to cry. And I was in the car, and I know that I like the song Dear John. I know I'm emotionally attached to it. But for some reason yesterday specifically, I was really like into it. And when the bridge came on and I put my volume at full, I was sitting in traffic like, you are an expert at song. I couldn't handle it. And then, we're on Speak Now right now. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it home. It's not.
Well, I chose different parts of the song, Anna. I have 2 that was really hard hitting for me.
With the girl in the dress.
Because on a normal year, I like to actually get dressed. This has been out the window for a long time. But used to be, I would be the one in the cute dresses and walking around. So I could just relate myself to that. That I'm so cute and I'm so fancy, but you're still raw and vulnerable and getting dumped and getting heartbroken. And I just thought that was so incredibly sad.
And then when she says, I should have known, I'm like,
Which brings me to my second hard-hitting lyric.
Run as fast as you can.
Because that emotion and that angry Taylor right there where she's like, I should have known better, just gives me all too well vibes. Because you can hear it in her voice,
Absolutely.
how upset she is.
I've been thinking this whole time about how when the Red re-recording version, like the album, Red Taylor's version comes out, I'm going to have to take a day off of work. I'm realizing now I'm going to have to take a couple days off when Speak Now comes out. Because, oh my God, her singing Dear John with her voice now is...
It's going to be really great.
Do we want to manifest collectively as a whole? Speak Now, Taylor's version, featuring John Mayer. Yes or no?
I don't know. I think we all know that 1989 is coming next. So if Harry is
If
in
Harry's
style,
on
then I will go along with this.
At least from style, perhaps I'm interpreting it differently. Style is not a track 5. Sure. And sure, Taylor's upset the relationship didn't work out. Maybe they got in a car wreck and killed somebody.
Maybe.
But it doesn't have the heartbreak and the pain that she went through after John Mayer used and abused her that this song has. This has so much weight. To have him on it would be like, ooh, even if it's just him like playing the guitar.
Yeah.
He may not sing on it, but that would, sure, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But would it happen?
I hate
don't
to
know.
poo-poo on that theory. But if that was the case, then why wasn't Joe Jonas on Forever and Always?
Sure.
If
I
everybody,
didn't even think about that.
because if everybody, I mean, I don't think that they're bitter about it anymore, even though John was really, really butthurt whenever this song came out. And he's made several statements on it. I purposely have not been researching these songs because I'm enjoying getting to know them and learn about them
As
with
we
you
go.
guys.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but look into some stuff for Dear John because I'm like, how did they even date? What happened?
It's weird because he was way older.
Oh, yeah.
32
And
she was 19.
Yeah.
They got together for a duet, and I had a breakdown on paper, not in real life. I had everything broken down for this song, and then I was like, okay, I'm spinning out. That is way, way too much. We'll have to get to that later. But I couldn't help but look at some of the gossip that was going on because they just dated for a very short amount of time. Taylor never acknowledged the subject of this song. Whenever she was asked outright if it was about John Mayer, she said, I'm going to continue to write about my life, and I guess people are going to continue to speculate who it's about. And I'll never tell them. So she wouldn't say anything, but John kept speaking up.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said, I never got an email. I never got a phone call. I was really caught off guard. It really humiliated me. At a time when I'd already been dressed down, he had his own scandal going on then whenever this came out. And how would you feel if at the lowest you've ever been, someone kicked you when you're even lower? And he was asked about the lyric, don't you think I was too young to be messed with? And he responded with, I don't want to go into that.
Oof.
But since then, he said, and I thought that this was a hilarious line, he said, we're rich people who get to live out our dreams. Let's just stop it. I'm a musician who's bigger than one song or one record. But my only argument with that is, okay, sure, you're bigger than one song, maybe, or one record, but you're not bigger than Taylor Swift.
No.
Not at all. Not in the least bit.
I love how we were like, let's do an episode where we just rank the songs, and just by nature, we're like, here's the history behind every single song.
So we've already broken down White Horse, which you can go back and listen to. We haven't done Cold as You yet, but I feel like Dear John on for our track 5s whenever we record them are going to be very lengthy episodes with a lot of meat and dirt and clips and research. Those are going to be long marathon podcasts.
Much like this one.
Yes.
That was the condensed version that I had. That was just the juicy tidbits to get to for now.
Okay, so moving on, the next track 5 from her 4th album, Red, is All Too Well.
All too
All right, so do we just say if I count to 3, do we just say what we rank this as?
Yes.
I feel like this might be a divisive one.
I'm really glad there's a partition between me and Amy. That's all I'm saying.
Am I the only one out?
Let's just count. I'm going to count to 3, and we'll all say what we ranked it as at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
1. 3?
What'd you 3?
Did you say 3?
I said 3. I knew this was gonna happen.
Oh my god!
Because it has 3 words in the title. Is that why you ranked it 3?
Are you because Taylor's been tweeting out 3 emojis?
There has to be a reason it fell so low on your list, Amy.
So I love the hook, but 100% of it does not beat my number 1. Listening to it, like all the way, just like listening to it, just chilling. This doesn't beat my number 1. I love this song.
It's not the vibes that your number 1 puts out.
Not your thing. I think just when it comes to emotion and songwriting, obviously we all know what track 5, that's what it is. All Too Well, for me, from start to finish, it is storytelling, it's lyrical masterpiece, it's genius, it's a beautiful thing to sing along to. I've said this before on on one of our previous episodes, but I consider it a cardinal sin to skip this song if it comes on. If you're listening on shuffle to Taylor Swift and you're like jamming out to like Look What You Made Me Do, and then like All Too Well comes on, I'm sorry, mood change. You are not skipping it. You just cannot. I did pull some of my favorite lyrics from this song because whenever I listen to this by myself, I like to think I'm the one performing it. And there's 2 lyrics that give me the chills every time because I perform it so well.
You told me about your past, thinking your future was me.
That is when you're thinking about a breakup and you're thinking back on it and you're telling me about your past thinking your future is me, but at this point you know it's not. Oh my God, Taylor, calm down. And then the other one comes right after the bridge. For some reason, that line, that I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it, that gives me chills. It just gives me chills after you're already All Too Well, to me, the story, it could be its own movie. You know, you're like, you're going through this relationship and she's telling you all these details, this whole story. I was there the whole time and like, I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. Like, I'm trying to get over this breakup, but I'm not over it yet. And it's just, this was number one in my heart at all time across her entire discography.
I agree. I'm okay, but I'm not fine at all.
Exactly. Thank
How
you.
is that lyric? That's just crazy. I would like to play my favorite part of the song, please.
Clip is over 5 minutes long. Did you just put the entire song?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And the live version, because
I don't know if we can play the whole song.
I love watching that, and you can see whenever she gets to the hook, she has anger in her face, and you can just see it. I have a 12-year-old little sister, and I think she's more on the emotional level of Amy because she doesn't quite get this song yet. But I played that for her, and I'm like, look at her face. Look how angry she is. But one day, y'all, whenever I finally get the help that I need and I talk to a therapist, I'm going to describe my emotions as a crumbled up piece of paper.
I just can't believe that she just very casually wrote that lyric and then just said, yeah, people should listen to this.
Casually cruel in the name of being honest. So you're going to call me back up again and tell me that this is going to work out just to dump me once again.
I feel like there's no way we can really ever talk about All Too Well in the future without playing the bridge of that live version. It just goes hand in hand with the actual hook of the song.
It's once again a cardinal sin to not do that.
I'm not saying I'm going to skip it just because I made it number 3. I still like it, and I'm not going to apologize because I didn't make it 1. But I do have to apologize because whenever anyone who follows our Instagram account at the 13 podcast, I try to use this as my comment on the post.
I noticed. I didn't want to call you out
for Mike giving us the gift.
Yeah.
I said 2 as T-O, and I was like, now I can't delete it because I tagged him. Oh my
so
gosh,
first you make it number 3, and then you do that.
I would just like to point out my maturity that I didn't go for Amy on Instagram whenever I noticed that, because I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
But she would have to erase it because she was on her own Instagram account, so you can't just edit it.
That's so funny.
So getting to All Too Well, that was going to be where I thought the most arguments were going to happen, and we got through that, guys. That wasn't too bad.
Can I suggest?
We all still love Amy.
Just because once again, as a group, do we want to manifest the 10-minute version?
Yes.
We recorded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm glad we all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on, number 5, her 5th track 5 is from 1989. All you had to do was stay. Well, I listed All You Had to Do Was Stay. 1989 is my favorite Taylor Swift album, but I listed this as number 7 on my rankings of track 5s.
Nick, so did I.
Wow, we're right on
lists.
like three of them so
very
far.
Similar lists.
I had it as number 8.
Okay, very close still.
I had it at number 6.
Number 6, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a bop. So
It is.
doesn't-
It's definitely a change of pace for sure.
It's a good song. It's just not a track 5 for me, especially when you look at 1989. There's other songs that could have been track 5.
Yes, definitely.
Like Clean,
yeah, absolutely.
This Love.
Great one.
Even You Are in Love. Why did you hold that for the deluxe, Taylor? I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are about, heartbreak and everything. And this is about heartbreak, but it's the only upbeat pop song. It's just a complete shift in everything. So it definitely, when I'm ranking track 5s, it definitely kind of sits weird in my palate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'd still love it. Great song.
Sure.
Never skip it. But with track 5s, it's just in a funky place for me.
It just feels off.
It does. It does. I don't really have anything else to say on All You Had to Do Was Stay. There's nothing more. It's just there.
Yeah, and we'll get deeper into it when it gets its own episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so moving on. Her 6th track 5 is from Reputation. It's Delicate.
'Cause I know that it's delicate.
So I'll go first. This ranks as number 2 for me.
Really?
Of all track 5s.
Wow.
Number 2. I love this song. I love it.
It is a great song. I have this at number 5.
Okay.
Number 4.
Amy's 4. Lacey.
Unpopular opinion, and yes, I'm going to look at you while I say this. Number 9.
Number 9.
I was wondering what you were going to do.
Look, I get it. I understand. Also, similar to All You Had to Do Was Stay, this song is almost more
happy,
hopeful. You know, it's obviously at the beginning of a relationship. You know, she's saying, "Is this too much?" Because things are so delicate right now. So like, you know, she's talking about sneaking around with the guy. So it's like the beginning of the relationship. So it definitely kind of sticks out as not necessarily following the heartbroken, raw, you did me so wrong theme. But this is just a bop. I love it. There's so much great of this song. I love it.
I did have it originally, like when I wrote down, I just kind of like wrote them out like, okay, let me, first impressions, whatever. And I had Delicate a lot higher, but then once I started to think about some of the other ones, it wasn't that I wanted it to be more in the middle. It just kind of, the other ones just overpowered it, in my opinion.
Sure.
It was just catchy, but not too emotional for me.
It's
That's the only reason why.
Yeah, the beat is the jam for me, but I don't want to listen to it all the time. So
I do like the music video though.
Yeah,
it's cute.
You know, when the music video first came out, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? Because it's her doing like really awkward dances, and she's dancing and like she's good at it, but what she's doing is not good.
The
that makes
faces
sense.
in the mirror, really, like, well, that's so goofy.
I saw a TikTok video of somebody doing like the choreography from the Delicate music video, like at the club. Like they were like playing Delicate somewhere, and somebody did like the actual dance from the music video, and like the caption was like, "If you know, you know."
Funny.
That's so funny.
Every time I hear this song, I think of you, Anna.
Of Delicate?
Mm-hmm. I know that this is Nick's favorite song, but I think of Anna because we played Taylor-oke one time, and you were able to finish the lyric. And you and Nick were on the same team, and Nick was looking at you, just beaming, so proud. So, Nick, I pulled the same clip, and I want to know if you can finish the lyric.
Me? Sometimes I wonder when you sleep, are you ever thinking of me? I hope when I look into your eyes is all the damn time. I don't know. I don't know.
Horrible. I don't know if you can tell, but Anna's not beaming at you right now.
No.
I was beaming.
With a squint eye.
I was beaming.
Nick, will you please play the answer?
Sometimes I wonder when you sleep.
Are you ever thinking of me? Sometimes when I look into your eyes, I pretend you're mine all the damn time.
Wow. The voice of an angel.
Was that Taylor?
Which now, looking back at it, should have had a technicality on that one
Was there
because it's
like one
actually, are you ever dreaming of
Dreaming.
me?
I was trying to think.
Yeah, and I was
Is it
thinking
thinking
that,
or dreaming?
I was thinking that right now, but then when you played it, I was like, oh, maybe.
Maybe it works.
Yeah.
So Delicate. I'm pretty high, others not so much. But that's okay. Still a wonderful song, Taylor. Taylor, if you're listening, don't turn the podcast off. We still love you. All right, so coming up, the 7th track 5 she put out was on the album Lover, and this is The Archer.
Up in the Archer.
So I ranked this as number 8.
Nick? So did I.
Wow, we're on the
very
same page with a
similar.
lot of these.
We're very similar.
Anna, Amy, what do you rank this as?
I ranked it as number 6.
Okay, number 6.
I did
hovering around the
7.
same- Okay, so we're all still
Yeah, it's
kind of in
kind
the
of-
same ballpark there.
I just, much like we've said, like with the other ones, there's just other track 5s that just hit me more than this one. And I think, if I remember correctly, she released The Archer before she released the Lover album.
She did.
And I remember we knew it was track 5. Like, we knew that the song she was releasing was going to be track 5. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. Okay, let me sit down. Let me listen to this. And it wasn't that I didn't like it. I think I just had really big expectations for some reason.
Yeah, when she put this song out before the album came out, I was underwhelmed by it. I mean, it's a good song, but it never connected with me. Now, it's been out for 2-3 years. I definitely appreciate it way more than I did. I didn't really give it a big chance when it first came out. I skipped it a lot. But I like it more now, but, meh.
It's still not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I identified with the lyric, I never grew up, I'm getting so old.
It took me the longest time ever to connect the title, The Archer, is because she's a Sagittarius.
Oh.
Oh, y'all didn't know that either. Okay.
All right, makes
Okay,
sense.
cool. Awesome. Fun fact.
Yeah, there you go.
That's sweet.
I just think that Lover is obviously the best song, and Lover should have been track 5. That's the only reason why I'm like, I do like this song. This lyric made me question stuff, though. So, cut off my nose to spite my face.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that before, but I have what does that even mean? Do y'all know what that means?
No clue.
I've only heard it in this song.
It's
So.
got to be some saying from somewhere, maybe.
So, it's an expression to describe a needless self-destruction overreaction to a problem, which I'm dramatic. So, why wouldn't I cut off my nose to spite my face? I mean, I could just see myself doing that. But it's a warning to not act out or against pursuing revenge in a way that would damage yourself more than the object of your anger. So you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. But there's also another band that I thought famously used that line until I pulled it. But tell me if you can name this band. Amy, hold your answer. Do y'all know?
It's that Hinder.
No, it's not Hinder. I should pull that clip up. I want to say Creed just to be funny, but that's Stained. It's Stained,
Okay.
right?
Thank you. Yes.
Stained. I fell down this giant 90s rabbit hole whenever you did Mud Shovel the other day. And so I've been listening to a lot of Stained.
You know what, guys? You might not believe this, but one time when I was in college, I did see, what's that guy's name? The lead singer, Stained?
Aaron Lewis.
Saw him open for Creed. I went to a Creed concert.
I thought you were about to say Limp Bizkit. I was going to say, man, you're living the dream.
No, I'd love to go see Limp Bizkit back in the 2000s, but no, I saw Creed, and it was awesome. I loved Creed.
Of course you did.
Oh, they were so good. They were the Nickelback before Nickelback.
Yeah. I also went to a Creed concert. I'm acting like I'm shamed. I'm so ashamed of that. But yeah, I went to a Creed concert in high school.
So we have two more. We have two more track 5s left. Here is My Tears Ricochet from Folklore.
Look at how my tears ricochet.
Whew, there's a lot that she is putting into that song. So I put My Tears Ricochet. For me, that's my number 3.
I have it at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I have it number 2.
2.
I have it at number 8.
Number
Wow.
8. Way down Lacey's list.
Wow. Speak of no soul.
I know.
Like, this is like, wow.
I think why I have it so high is that with Lacey, you've said it before, the album Folklore helped us get through 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I just listen to this all the time. And I don't know,
It sticks with you.
It does.
It does. It's kind of almost like it's almost like haunting. It's like, I feel it's always there. Maybe, Lacey, did you work with Scooter Braun to buy Taylor's catalog? Is that why this is so far down on your list?
Oh my gosh, y'all. I had a dream the other night that I was hanging out with Scooter Braun.
Ew, you mean a nightmare.
I know. And I was so angry about it. It was a nightmare. Good call. I was so angry about it. But then I was confused because Demi Lovato was there and Justin Bieber was there. And I was like, I can't be here right now. Where is Taylor? And it did put me like in a panic mode.
Oh my gosh.
I hate talking about dreams because nobody cares. But I do have to say, I also had a dream about Nick Adams. We've
All right.
definitely been spending a lot of time together. I had a dream about Nick Adams and we were doing like facials and had our hair back in the headbands doing facials and stuff. Like you're my girlfriend now.
All right,
You've moved
cool.
up a level.
Listening
We're
to
not
My
just
Tears
coworkers.
Ricochet.
Yeah, we're girlfriends now.
I've never gotten my nails done or a pedicure. Maybe we can all do that one
That would
day,
be so
everybody.
fun.
We can record a podcast while getting our feet done.
I love that idea.
We would have to wait and do that. Does Taylor have any songs about feet? Does she have any lyrics about that?
She has those socks that came out with Tolerate It, right?
Yes,
she
you're
did.
right.
She have songs that came out, yeah.
You're right. We'll
Yeah.
buy them, and as soon as they come in the mail, we'll go get petties. But with My Tears Ricochet, I kind of, like Amy was saying, Folklore really got us through 2020, and Folklore was just a masterpiece on its own. And I think, with My Tears Ricochet, like we know that this song is about, her battle with Scooter Braun and the record label and stuff like that. But I did pull the part of the song that I think really, like, I was listening to it for the first time thinking, like, yes, obviously this is emotional, this is deep, this is dark. But when she gets to, I want to say it's the bridge, it's like, it really, like, hit for me. Folklore's not really like an album you, like, blast in the car and you're like, oh, like, let me scream the
That part
lyrics.
you do.
But that part you do, and I cannot wait to see that live.
Yes.
Is that not just a line that Swifties all over
Yes.
just when you hear it, your heart just doesn't break for Taylor and the battle that she's going through with her music. And it's just like, whoa, it is there. And boy, she says a lot of powerful things.
It hits differently
but
for
not
me,
to
though.
Lacey.
It does hit differently to me because I don't think about her battle with Scooter Braun. I think about the story that she's telling in folklore and how it all weaves together. So I just think about James dying at war, which is super sad, and then going to his funeral. But also, just because it's not the highest of my listing, it still does tug at my heartstrings. I'm a human, believe it or not. And Amy, as my official funeral director, I hope it does at yours too, because this song will be played at my funeral as you pass out tissues and those little hats with the black netting so people can like cry and not worry about it. Amy's in charge of my funeral, by the way. She has a list of stuff to do because I do want to be cremated. So that's
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah.
She's going to be putting an urn that looks like a clown.
I like that idea. Actually.
It's not even going to be an urn. It's going to be like a spooky clown cookie jar from a flea market.
I'm not a fan of urns. My only rule is just get rid of me. I'm not one of those people that you have to put me in different corners of the earth or do something like that. But I don't want to be sitting in your house because that's just a little creepy.
And Amy's got to buy a ticket to a Stained concert to spread your ashes.
Taylor Swift. Get it right.
Okay, so another controversial round there with My Tears Ricochet. So this is our very last track 5, and this is from Evermore. So her very latest track 5, and this is Tolerated.
And watch you tolerate it.
So for me, I ranked Tolerated as number 5 for my track 5s.
For me, it's at number 2.
It's a jam. Amy?
I have it as number 1.
Number 1.
This is the song that beat All Too Well.
Do you have All Too Well at number 2?
I have it at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. How could I forget?
Lacey, where did you rank
I
this?
have Tolerate at number 3.
Okay.
I did have Cold As You here first, but then last minute had to switch it out just because the emotional ties to Tolerate, because it is super emotional and it's just one of those songs that really makes you think, is it worth it? Do I need to put up with this? I mean, it's a transitional song, I guess. It's that moment where you have to sit back and think.
Right. And it's not necessarily that I identify with it personally, but it's grown-up heartbreak.
It is.
And it just, because I'm a grown-up, I guess it's really hard for me.
Amy, are you okay?
Mature.
Is everything okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Everything's good.
Well, and it's also, much like all the other songs in the folklore Evermore, sisterhood, I feel like her lyrics are like so sad but so pretty. You know what I mean? And with Tolerate
this whole Tolerate, it's almost like whimsical.
Yeah,
the
but
feeling, it's like fairies almost,
right,
but
and
it's
then you
not.
and then you listen to the words, you read the lyrics on paper, and you're like, oh my god, that is so sad.
All of the
all
lyrics.
of it. Yeah, you're right, Amy.
It's just when I listen to it, when I get to that part, like, well, you were out building other worlds. Where was I? I think that really, obviously the chorus and Tolerate It. It's such an interesting way to communicate the idea behind it. Like, I'm giving you all of my love, and all you do is tolerate it. But it's like, yeah, where was I? Like, where was I in all of this? Now I'm begging to be footnotes in the story of your life. Who writes that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, if being in a relation, I've been in a relationship for 15 years with my wife. If she said she was just tolerating me, like that almost hurts more than like, I don't love you anymore. It's just like, I'm putting up with you. I'm sticking it out. It's just like tolerate.
Yeah, I'm not currently going through a breakup, but when I listen to this song, I think that I am. But then to say like, what if I did like gain the weight of you, then lose it? Believe me, I could do it. Like, I'm speechless.
It's the same clip that I did for crying episodes. That was it. That was the one.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I know that 2020, I definitely gained the weight of somebody, and for 2021, I would like to lose it.
Yeah.
Personally, literally.
Believe me, I can do it. Yes, it's just I've seen so many videos on TikTok of people listening to that part specifically in the car and just like crying.
And a lot of times it's like me in a happy relationship.
That's me.
But
That's
then you listen to
literally
this and you're like sad.
That's literally me. I'm telling you guys, one time I got into like a really petty fight with Ryan, and we got in the car and I immediately put on Tolerate just so he could know.
He's so sick of that. He's so sick of Taylor Swift at this point, I'm sure.
He's really happy that we started this podcast.
Because you don't have to talk to him about it?
Because now he's like, now you have like an outlet. It's kind of like a little like therapy group. Like he's like, you have other people to talk about.
Or like your AA group. You get to come in with your Taylor addictions.
Yeah, it's funny. My wife's kind of the same way. She hasn't specifically said that, but sometimes I'll like say something about Taylor Swift and I can just see her kind of like what a guy does to a girl, but she just kind of like nods, her eyes glaze over. She's like, I can tell she's not listening, but she's just entertaining me.
Oh, I did want to tell you guys that Ryan had an idea that our significant others should do an episode together about like a
That's
song.
hilarious.
About Taylor Swift.
That's
Josh
funny.
would totally do that.
Like without us. Like
Yes.
without
Oh,
us.
he's in.
Like them being like, so what do you think about Taylor Swift?
Well, I'm not trying to brag, but my husband also had an idea for this podcast.
He did.
He
Which was?
thought that we should break down every song and list it as an individual episode. That was his idea. So he might not listen to me or necessarily invest into what I do for a living, but I have shoved Taylor Swift down his throat successfully because he tries to he tries to walk away whenever I'm explaining All Too Well, which is the best Taylor Swift song of all time, hands down. And he told me, I don't care. And I said, do you know how much of your crap I listen to that I don't care about? You need to listen to me right now. And I make him listen.
I can definitely see Jeremy coming up with that idea, doing each song as one episode.
Yeah.
Like 4 minutes after you just said that idea, you're like finishing cooking dinner or something when he gets home and you talk to him and then he says the exact same thing you just said.
As much
You
as
can
I
picture that.
argue with him, I just let him have that one. I said,
Yeah.
that's a really good
that's
idea,
great.
babe. That was
Look.
me holding in my rage.
You were tolerating it.
And we like the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously we do. We're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We like the idea. Good job,
That's so
Jeremy.
funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Guys, this is going to be a little bit of a change of pace, but I got to ask you. Sit back and think about Taylor Swift's house. Do you think it's clean?
Absolutely.
Do you think she has healthy organic products in her house?
Oh, absolutely.
Can't you just see Taylor Swift with her rubber gloves on cleaning her house?
Yes.
So keeping a clean and healthy home is more important than ever these days, but sometimes it can be pretty overwhelming to look for household products that are both natural and effective. Wouldn't it be nice if there was someone you could trust to put in all that work for you, saving you time and money? That's where Grove Collaborative comes in.
Grove is the online marketplace that delivers a healthy home, beauty, and personal care products directly to you. Grove Collaborative takes the guesswork out of going green. Browse the site for thousands of home, beauty, and personal care products, all guaranteed to be good for you, your family, your home, and the planet.
With Grove, you don't have to shop multiple stores or search endlessly online to get all of the natural goods you need for you and your family. Join over 2 million households who have trusted Grove Collaborative to make their homes happier and healthier. Plus, shipping is fast and free on your first order.
You know, my favorite thing about having the soaps in my bathroom and my guest bathroom is that when my guests come over and they use my Grove products, they always compliment me. So I feel like maybe I'm Taylor Swift getting all these compliments.
So making the switch to natural products has never been easier. For a limited time, when our listeners go to grove.co/Swift, you will get to choose a free gift with your first order of $30 or more, but you have to use our special code. Go to grove.co/Swift to get your exclusive offer.
That's grove.co/Swift.
So that is it. That is our rankings. Let's go and do our top three just really fast as we wrap this thing up. So my top three, number 3, I have My Tears Ricochet, Delicate as number 2, All Too Well number 1.
I have at number 3, I have Dear John. Number 2, Tolerate It. At number 1, All Too Well.
Amy?
I have All Too Well as number 3. I have My Tears Ricochet as 2 and Tolerate It as 1.
Lacey?
I have Tolerate as number 3, Dear John as number 2, and obviously All Too Well as number 1.
So we have the same top 3, you and I, just in different orders.
Yes. Well, that is it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. Let us know what your rankings of Taylor Swift's track 5s are. We would love to hear from you. You can contact us in 100 different ways. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. And make sure you subscribe to this podcast, and we're available on all of the podcast platforms. Google, Apple, Spotify. We're there. Just search for us with the number 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast.
And be sure to leave us a review like this one that says, with every episode it makes me feel nostalgic while also widening my knowledge of the Easter eggs from past eras. It's such a fun and insightful podcast and perfect for the die-hard Swifties. I learned so many new things about Taylor and I look forward to it every Tuesday. This is my favorite podcast.
Join us next time. We're going to be breaking down the song Change.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.